Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olson with a school system update. Recently, I reported to the school committee that our October 1st enrollment in Westford was 5,072 students. The Department of Education and the state use the October 1st enrollment as a means of calculating our state aid each year. And so that's the enrollment that is always cited in state documents and reports that we send to the Department of Education and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. What does that represent in terms of deviation from our historically high enrollment? Well, back about 12, 13, 14 years ago, maybe a little bit more, our enrollment was 5,325 students. So at this point in time, being nearly 5,100 students is not a significant drop. So we're remaining strong with our enrollment. It's basically because of the in-migration of families with school-aged children and the continued development of new residential units in Westford. So we're proud that people want to come to the town for the school system. Once they're here, they find out the overall excellent quality of all town services also. It's a great place to work, great place to live for families, particularly with school-aged children. As the fall and winter approach, first of all, I'm hoping that there are no surprise snow or ice storms or tropical storms like we've had in some years of late. But this is the time of year that I'd like to hold up a document. This is a document that I prepare each year and send to our staff, and it's called Observe and Conserve. It's some suggestions that I put together in consultation with Westford resident Hale Powell, who is an energy conservation expert. In Hale's research and the Department of Energy's research, most of the energy conservation savings come from human practices. Tightening up whatever we do in terms of leaving lights on, heaters, portable refrigerators, all sorts of devices and computers that we sometimes leave on for extended periods of time, but should be shut off and can result in significant savings. So we look forward to our staff exercising as many of those interesting conservation suggestions as possible. If you have any suggestions that you'd like to send to me, I'd be interested in seeing them. Please send them to me in an email. It's bolson@westfordk12.us. I'm always interested in getting your ideas and suggestions for not only improving the school system, but making us a more efficient operation. As I mentioned in my last update, we're putting together the FY20 budget and capital plan. How do we put together the capital plan? Because those are the items that cost $10,000 or more and are of a significant nature in terms of improvement, the scale of the improvement and the cost, the overall cost, sometimes going up into the millions of dollars. First of all, we use the latest town facilities report that was done by DRA several years ago. DRA was an architectural firm that did several of our schools, and they did a comprehensive facilities study for all town buildings several years ago. But many, many years ago, I want to say probably 25 to 30 years ago, when, just after I started in Westford in 1986, I put together, based on my review of a number of documents of facilities management and upkeep, put together a list of nearly 100 items that I have our principals and our head of facilities, Richie Crocker, look through to determine what is it that we need to replace or repair or improve in our school facilities, everywhere from flooring to roofing and everywhere in between. And so this is a good prompt. It's a list of the items, what condition they're in, an explanation, and a cost estimate, because we want to go to the town capital plan committee with as accurate a costing as possible in terms of our maintenance and capital improvements. Shortly, you'll be receiving a school calendar survey. I'm going to ask you several questions about the vacation periods and whether or not you'd like to see them continue as the December, February, and April school vacation periods, or whether you want to see some modification of those periods, such that we might be able to still have a few days off, but also have more days during peak learning time to attend school. As you know, last year we lost 9 school days, which was the greatest amount of school days that I've seen since I've been here, since 1986. What happens is the year gets pushed out into late June, and those are less effective learning days due to the sometimes higher temperatures and humidity levels and the orientation of everyone's mind, staff and children included, and all of ours, that vacation is around the corner. So learning is a little bit more secondary in nature in the latter part of June with the focus on summer vacation. We're going to start some school visits with the school committee shortly. We'll invite the selectmen to come along also, anyone who would like to attend, just so they can get an idea of the level of utilization of all of our schools, elementary, middle, and high school. It's good that people be informed, particularly our decision makers and policy makers, so they can see just to the extent that our buildings are being utilized and the nature of the programs that are going on in our school system. We will be looking at also a later school start time for next year. I'm in the process of talking with our leadership team about the high school and middle school starting later. There are several derivations of starting and closing times for high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools. I'm going to take a look at the research that's out there, present a report for the school committee that I anticipate will be made to them in December, early December of this year, in terms of my recommendations for allowing our high school and middle school students to start a little bit later, taking advantage of the sleep research that has been done for many, many years, and what the impact that will be on elementary school. As I think I've said to you before, my intent is not to make it better for one group and worse for another group. We want to have a system of school starting and ending times beginning next year that will benefit every student. It's been a busy start to the school year, but it's always enjoyable, always exciting, and always stimulating. I appreciate your support always throughout the year. Look forward to seeing you at the upcoming Fall Town Meeting, and I'll see you again at my next update.